let's just kind of take a minute. I can explain so you'll know how the whole class is going to flow and what your work in the class will be like, what your work outside the class will be like. Of course, this is you're not getting a grade, you know, and you're a star on the refrigerator. So you're here because you want to be, and so your expectations of yourselves are as high as you decide that it's not safe, not comfortable, not practical, but how far are you willing to go? You know, that's the bigger question. Safe, comfortable, and practical, those are gone already. So now we're into another realm. And basically what we want to do while we're here is to delineate our life from where we just came from to what happens when we arrive here. So we want to sort of like declare this space as sacred space, and ideally we want to go through some processes that will allow your brain to shut off, because thinking it will just get in your way. So the more conscientious, probing, problem solving, all that's interesting, but that's not what's going to be the pathway for you to start to do really interesting work. I think it's extremely important to understand that this is not a course where you're trying to make the best photographs of your life. This is something that people really struggle with in shooting from the heart in general, that photography by its very nature, it is an instant gratification medium, especially now that it's digital. Boom, done, 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 done. Is it good? Yes. Is it bad? No, delete. Is it good? No more good, no more bad, no more comparisons. Process, process, process. Just think of it as if you're composing a song. It's so much easier. You're not going to sit down, some have in history, but the average songwriter is not going to sit down and bam, it's done. It's more like, I'm working on it. You know, you may write a lyric, you may put it away for a day, a month, a year. You might write a phrase, you might, you know, and then it comes back and you work it and you work it and you work it. But the expectation of a photograph is so different because I'm here because I want to make a good picture. All right? So let yourself off the hook, dive into the process, trust the process, be with the process. If you're making really good pictures every time you pick up the camera, there's no way you're in uncharted territory. You're just making the same pictures you've made. I think one of the most ironically motivating things anyone ever said to me was when I was at graduate school. And after 2 or 3 semesters, I had an advisor who, with the first day of the semester, sits down and he's looking at all my work, and he's looking and he's nodding, and he looks at me and he goes, "You are an amazing photographer." Followed by, "So what?" It's just like, ooh, that hurts. And he's like, "What are you going to do now? What's next?" And so there was an opportunity for all those months, week after week after week, to just be kind of like sniffing here and knocking on that door and making a complete fool of myself, you know, hundreds of times, until eventually there began to be something started to reveal itself that really was along the lines of, how can I say this? There were visions that were so much bigger than what I ever understood possible for me. Bigger, more complex, definitely uncomfortable, working with populations that I never had any exposure to in my life, and suddenly that's my life.